Welcome, everybody, to the Insider Perks YouTube channel. My name is Brian Searle, the founder and CEO of Insider Perks, and today we are going to talk about SEO, or search engine optimization, and more specifically, an introduction to it. So before we dive into this map here and we kind of work through a use case, let's talk about what SEO is. SEO is very simply the process by which you optimize your website for search engines. Now that sounds complex, right? And obviously there are 10,000 different things that could go into that. But today we're just covering an introduction. So let's start with your website. You have by now, if you're developing an RV park or campground, or you've recently purchased one, or you're rebranding one, or whatever your situation may be, you have figured out that you need a website or need a website redesign, or have already got one of those done. And when it comes to your website design, that's all well and good. Like, it needs to look pretty, it needs to load well on mobile devices, it needs to do all those kinds of things that your website designer is handling. And if you don't have a website designer, shameless plug, we're happy to do one of those for you, and it'll probably be really well, really good. So reach out to Insider Perks. But anyway, back to our current main topic of at hand here, right, is introduction to SEO. So once you've got your website done and it's designed, what you need to do is make sure that that website can be found. Just because you put it on the internet doesn't mean that people will be able to find it. So you need to submit it to Google. You need to make sure that the content on your website can be understood by Google. In other words, is it clear on your website that the content of your website means and tells Google a story about what you want to tell a story about? In other words, can you go to it and tell that you are an RV park in a specific location, that you offer certain services, and that you want to show up, or you're relevant for the specific keywords that you'd like to rank for in Google? If you can't do that, one, your people who come to the website as human beings who aren't Google bots are not going to be able to have a clear understanding of what you offer, which means it's going to be harder to get them to book. But two, if Google cannot understand that, then it cannot discern where you should or should not rank in Google and for what keywords. So this is where your website designer, assuming they do SEO, some do, some don't, make sure you check with them and make sure you ask them to define what SEO means for them. If it doesn't mean for them at least 60% of what I'm saying in this video, perhaps you want to either consider looking for another website designer or looking for someone who can supplement that website design with SEO. So once we've got our website submitted to Google, once we've got our content working the way we need to, and it can be understood by Google's robots and all those kinds of things, then we need to decide, what do we want to rank for on Google? Now, this is not just what pops into your head. There's actual data you need to research about this, right? So this is where keyword research tools come into play. But before I get to this, we want to choose a random US city like we typically do. So you know that I'm not really prepared for this video. We're going to minimize this little thing down here. So we're going to choose wherever Jersey City is. We're just going to run this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And we've got Chesapeake, Virginia. So we're going to head over to Google Maps. And we're going to look at Chesapeake, which I'm probably spelling wrong, Virginia. And now what we want to do is we want to identify the keywords that are causing people to go, well, not causing people, but the keywords that are being searched most frequently by people when they go to Google because they are looking for a campground, RV park, glamping resort, cabin rental near Chesapeake, Virginia. So the way you do that is you use a keyword research tool. So this is one that we use at our agency. It's not the cheapest in the world, and there are certainly other ones that you can use besides this. But for our purposes, we're going to use this demo because I'm comfortable with it. And so we're going to look for Chesapeake. Again, I'm spelling it wrong. It'll correct itself. Hopefully, we'll just go grab it from a little cheat right here, right? And we'll go to Chesapeake Campgrounds. And we're going to see how much volume this gets on an average month. So you can see 60 volumes. That's not bad. But you can see it gives me related keywords, and there's campgrounds near Chesapeake, VA at 150. So that's pretty decent. But I also want to check Chesapeake RV parks too. Just make sure there's nothing else there that might be even more popular. So again, we've got RV parks in Chesapeake. So about the same volume, but you can see there's RV parks in Chesapeake with 150 and RV parks Chesapeake, Virginia with 152. So that's kind of a double audience there that you might want to go after. So it really is your choice. You really want to go after all the keywords at the same time. But let's just pretend we're going to use RV parks in Chesapeake, Virginia. What we're going to do here is we are going to then optimize our website for these keywords. Now, I can't go through that entire process with you in one single video, right? Your website designer should know how to do this. It is not as simple as going and editing the text and putting the words RV Parks in Chesapeake, VA in as many possible places as you can on the homepage of your website, because that will for sure not rank you number one. But there is a process to it. You need to optimize your content for it. But the first start is knowing what keywords are being searched so that you can optimize your content for that. Once you've done that, again, the key to ranking in Google, quite simply, is the content of your website geared toward what Google wants to see for the keywords that you've researched and chosen. It's not what you want to see. It's partially what visitors and people want to see, right? But it's also partially what Google wants to see, so Google can rank your website for those keywords so the visitors can find your website and read the content that's partially geared toward them that will allow them to make a booking and spend money with you. So all that being said, content of your website and then building backlinks. You must build backlinks to your website. Like, there's a chance that if you don't build backlinks, you could rank in the top 10, maybe, for some of the keywords that you want to rank for. But you have to have backlinks. And a backlink is the backlink from Facebook. It's the backlink from your Google business listing. It's the backlink from all the directories and citations that you build on Apple Maps and Bing. It is working with influencers and getting backlinks from their blogs. It's hard work, right? A good SEO company will help you build these. It's sending out press releases. But that in and of itself, without going down too deep of a rabbit hole, is a really good introduction to SEO. So just to recap as we wrap up this video, okay? The number one thing is making sure that your website is designed well, it's mobile friendly, and the content of it is optimized for the keywords that you want to target, which should be based on data. After that, it's building backlinks, and you're pretty much good to go. In the campground and RV park industry, it's not too competitive. If you're in a city and you have 15 RV parks that are all competing with you nearby, it might get a little bit more complex than that. Obviously, there's 1,000 different levers a good SEO agency can pull on your behalf, but that's the introduction, and that's where you should start. So hopefully that was of value to you, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.